My name is K-Fai Steele, and I illustrated Lena the Chicken, but really a Dinosaur by Linda Bailey. It's a book about a chicken with a big personality who's convinced she's actually a dinosaur, and not surprisingly, no one believes her. And without giving too much away, she ends up proving everyone wrong in the end. The book is about being ferocious and confident in your ferocity, and it also throws in some facts about evolution. I get a lot of people wondering how I illustrate books or where I get ideas from, so I wanted to share what I think about and how I work when I'm making a book using Lena as an example. I'm American, and you could say that for the past 5 years, I've achieved the American dream, which is to leave the United States. I've been very lucky to live in Switzerland, and this past year I moved to Sweden. Because I can work from anywhere, I write stories and I make drawings for a job from my little desk in my little apartment. I think that when you draw professionally, it's like 50% making the actual drawings and 50% being a really observant person. Your drawings and the things that you write about are just a synthesis and output of what you see and what you think about, what interests you. So it's important to always be on the lookout for interesting things. Living somewhere new, traveling, seeing new things helps with that. And so can going to the library and reading books, going to museums. These are all things I did a lot growing up and I still do. One of the things that people say about my drawings and the things that I write is that I'm funny. Because I make these funny books professionally, it's hard to pin down exactly how I work because it's gotten to the point where it's pretty much instinctive. But what I'm going to try to do is show you this book, Lena, and talk about how I approached making it funny and interesting for me, and maybe you'll get excited about the book, and this will demystify in a way the process of how one particular illustrator, me, who's known for their humor, works. I always dream of doing a director's cut of the books that I illustrate because I like to point out all of the little things that I put in that maybe a reader might not notice. So here is a little bit of a walk through Lena the chicken, but really a dinosaur. So we have this character of Lena, and Lena's a chicken who thinks that she's a dinosaur. And what I think is really funny is her family. They're basically jerks. They either criticize or belittle or totally ignore her. But the thing about them is that they're also totally wimps. I love putting band-aids in books. I think there's something about them that's just inherently very funny. And I also love drawing this dad. And when you combine these two things, especially when it's a bald dad with a band-aid on his head and the band-aid stays on his head throughout the book, I just think it was just like a really nice touch. In general, I love adding little details that aren't central to the plot of a book. The kids and the posters in the science fair, this is a really great example of this. It's so much work to do, but I actually really love getting a chance to sort of figure out all of the kids and their families and who to be showing things to. The tractor that I drew in the book is actually one of my dad's tractors. I basically put this in for him. And here's Lena reading Danny the Dinosaur by Sid Hoff. I feel like she would be way more inspired by a story about a dinosaur than she would by just like an encyclopedia entry of a dinosaur. And the chickens in the book were definitely inspired partly by real chickens. So I love chickens, and I've been waiting to do a chicken book for so long, and finally I got the chance to do it with Lena the chicken. I love to draw characters, and I love to draw them feeling different emotions. It helps me to understand them, and I just get a lot of enjoyment out of doing this. I feel like it's getting to know someone you just really adore. When I first started drawing characters, people would tell me that I would actually make the same faces that the characters were making when I was drawing them. And this makes sense to me because it helps me to understand what the eyes, or the eyebrows, or the mouth are doing if a character is feeling a certain way. When I get a manuscript or when I start writing a story, I always start with a character. I think of it like central casting. I draw that character with different expressions like happy, disgusted, despairing, angry. The more you draw all of these different facial features working together, the better you get at capturing an emotion. And I think that's the important thing. It's not about making a good or a bad drawing. It's about whether or not you were able to capture and then communicate something. When I drew Lena, I used pencil, watercolor, and watercolor paper. And I love telling students about the materials that I use because it's the exact same materials that they have access to. Making these books, drawing these characters, Honestly, it's easy for me because I have fun when I do it. It's like my favorite thing to do in the world. Obviously, there are moments when it's challenging or it's tedious, but generally I feel really lucky that I get to do something that I love and get paid for it. So the book is called Lena the Chicken, but really a dinosaur. It's a really funny book. It's got great drawings. It has actual facts in it, and it's really entertaining. It's out in October with Tundra Books. I really hope you like it.